the first to know Nsem-Pii TV.
Abusa for yenina yenitria de Sam George, Minister for Communications, Digital Technology and Innovations, and at the same time Member of Parliament for Ningo Pram Pram. Ede ababeto omai Ghana mu ha se ene ko jina ono ani tumi so na watcha some stations bi a ewo omai Ghana mu ha waje onom license anaspo ntumi die efre omo nsem se de be ya omo ntumi enye adwuma na enchei bia ena chese John Dramani Mahama enso so step in ena chese wama omo se omo 30 days se onom efa etoto omo niema na eno na chese former health minister Dr. Bernard Okoe any obi ewo ekosi senjumedie so edwetwe nkomo ena chese in fact Bernard Okoe chese na debe na eba Sam George so yi yame akwese asopese wo use ne power no e de abuse enkrofo because ye hwa ye kan Sam George ade a waye ne no ade bi a chese wama the whole Ghana obi ahu se NDC amanyuku no mo nwene se bi onipa ho ebi say wo Sam George nti wonnim kwan a NDC amanyuku efa so ba power ana eno any questions bi a chese Bernard Okoe former health minister e de ebisa Sam George ana o chance it seems that sometimes as we dwene say Ghana for who yanim ekosoro ebinom by said ye be ya John Dramani Mahama mo na mo campaign aye propaganda e de tia NPP amonyoku say an ya create adwuma nti mo ba be create adwuma enne obi ye security obi ye watchman obi eye adwuma e wo radio stations bia enne nko a Sam George say ma two stations no ma suspended na say ma twam kura mo bia enye adwuma na just enye John Dramani Mahama and I step in for 30 days aka yene den in fact enne Sam George ena chese obi ene Bernard Okoe ehia ye no o ma twe ne sere ene basa efa nne ade ankode beto Ghana ha no yenye bre ni ntie obi ene Bernard Okoe ensema omo ekan
enterprise na sometimes one ye careful na oni bri dodo say o be kire obi tumi a o pra obi a oye family power yes say oye vulnerable person
unintended consequence
exactly since our closing omo mutira gate obi boss o koye den every month oji 400 Ghana cedi wa close our coffee or dey come na bebre su etu tepri drama amateur bebre obi na no small scale mine na be catch you say omo bebre omo they came together
yes
to make sure say John Mahama came to power. The kind of people who came together to make sure say this came to power, you have no idea. Nkofo na first say be free so mu ye nipa. Nyame na ye. Every season and how God turns the heart of people. And I will not fight it. Most of these people they also came for us in 2016 and 2020. And they now Dania Obunfu. In Pabon na obo say nyame besa ye den asesa makoma na o kan bibi say niama MPP ya ema omu campaign aye no omo won say no yet say ba and Mahama na ye omu ya say NDC beko that's why they are saying these things obi o kan no me dey now say me re ho kakra ade na ade e di omu ko e na wo kan omu ntem sa ati o ejuma ma won tie do be dey o
ejuma ma ye tie
na won follow
o mo kan ho ano
nipa o ba studio ha no
small scale miners no
me na meeting
o bi na ya o kan dey asem na kan e emotion enti ya radio ka say what you good for her
me am send the message abro obi o emotions obi me send o message
now obi the way governance works what government
started theories no
there is way practical there is no way a minister would dare close radio stations that can bring feedback questions to government spokesperson say what is happening without going to talk to the president or those at Jubilee House and they say one consulting on Sadia any under the West class John Mahama fire obi any be na but I'll tell you something Kolebu is when I was board chair. There was one major policy he introduced you as a board, which was to make sure say University of Ghana will stop appointing heads of department. Now Kolebu Kasa as an organization were appointing the heads because until I went there as board chairman from whatever 60 years or so, now University of Ghana and I'm appointing head of department in Kolebu. But stricto sensu, I'm appointing were faculty heads. They were not supposed to be head of department clinical heads, but they double. Or they let the banner or you. But because the letter no free vice chancellor of Eugene Intino allegiance to Kolebu management and board na yet too strong. Obi, do you know say to change this policy I went all the way to Mr. President. Not on paper, but that's the other side of governance. Yeah. Because uko sisana de hey ba Kolebu and doctors no bofu and maybe say hey what's happening? The foremost, the premier, the number one place are 1,800 people pass there a day for healthcare. What policy now by the assembly? Me call chief of staff also a briefing and say okay doc it makes sense and I me call Ajima Menu also makes sense before consulting labor unions in all the groups in Kolebu. It took about 8 months and finally we brought the policy on board. Enti say President Adam Penfono Mutuno Frobeka say they knew nothing about it. But the American say the fact that President John Dramani Mahama has written this letter means that he's been in this democratic game for long. On himself, Obi, the closing down of a radio station that is openly affiliated to your opponent, your opposite or political party, no, it can never be assumed that it is only a regulatory practice. Now, Sana Mika and Obi, Nyami, Omamre, Emma Hunkofo Subain. Some of the people are Omatimenya Kukudo. That meeting says some judge can say they will actually close the radio stations. I was Mukane say Ochimu. Yes, because in opposition, I remember him. His position was that there is even if a radio station is struggling to honor the regulatory requirement, because they are a voice of the people, you cannot close them down. Assist them to comply. This were his position when they were in opposition. Now I see three things happening. Some people want to show power. I say drag. Naraya, maybe she is able to control it well. I see some appointees of Joama power no fluent. They are trying to look at even the way he's talking. We are giving you 30 days. When your father, the appointer, the one who gave you the post, has come to say that, hold on, I am giving them space so that they will comply. Who are you to now come and say that you are giving the 30 days? Did President Obama add the 30 days? No. Some people must talk to some appointees. When the one who is in charge of the government, Nipa said the government on the shoulder say, step where we're taking, go and talk to the agency head. Yabote, ebi awo kona oye true. Now we say, wakambo nazuma 30 days. Power, from some people. And my prayer is that those who are sebio omuye reasonable in the government, they will rein those people in because there is one actor under NDC power Fruno F or starting active funny. I called one very reasonable NDC big man. Let me say, oh, but I know you. I know if you call Oluma and some people, this person they will rein him in. Suba all they are dangerous. Obi, my friend also or the Omundakasa. Nipano, they say untini dimbio. We're talking. We form be part of government. Obi power by no biana or you said oya kamo. Already suba okita no nya tumi kakra or you have nipa. So me mesre na the era me President John Mahama say there's so much ahead of him to do. Obi uhwe Ghana hapa nyama nkrofo ni daswa ejuma dosu. So mesre no esena watch letter we no who can be say ebe one say obeka say oni muhwe but I want to cross that one and can meso no kon wo ho but don I agent to out and into mean cut that line but all I want to say is that say na wa rainy no in no message na nyo no pe obi anka say obi e boni enja no man nko but mo fa kwan bi so e che machoism ramboism min ka say min ka NDCism to ana say you be true be atunu woni niam no emboa enye no na Ghana for epatie say ye kasa wo yare na o hospital wan hwa nurse ni wenti na wo nkwa be Fumes say na no meti say was he journalist and opinion bia or say he had to travel to Kumasi okay Kofi Tonto anabi
yeah Kofi Tonto
yes there are serious issues to be dealt with. We will come to the nurses intimate obi ye de tumi mawa and I can be say Ghana for Dramani Mahama asem oh emeresisa she say there ampa bebre na di amano enche ye obi nipa o enche ye kroma bebre di mano na do meboa yes
na do to bani di obi anyi bia di kroma o
mesre
obi de mo be ye ndi de president you novel obi Guinness Book of Records
sana ye kai
me Mahama will never do that
Jomama see Jomama lose by over 1 million votes and see that first time presidency that obi ye kan ma be see that
because that's when we can throw
is president
and menu see already president
there be some we can throw yankopon na amna baso
me da se papa ekosi sense higher Nsem-Pii FM na ya besia bam na ansa na obi please ask Dr. Okoe when people were asking the president to create SAL, what did he say? Is he talking about hypocrisy? It's indeed true. When Sam George was saying that, what did they say? Greetings to Honorable Fred Agbenyo, MP for SAL, and Chairman Ali Ejay Ibrahim, Bono NDC Regional Vice Chairman, Wefi Francis Ono Odoma East. Obi, honestly, okay, it was Radio Gold and Muntie. Sadly, Muntie became defunct shortly after the closure. Honestly, I think that President Mahama should be commended for the action he's taking on this radio closure matter. Good afternoon, Obi. Please tell Nana Yajantwa to remain calm in the studios because we are listening. Kweku Owusu, Cleveland, Ohio. Chairman Basti in Takrade says, Obi, your YouTube just went offline.
No.
Listening to you live from London, Ontario in Canada. And the chairman, yes, echo off Kakaba, we are back. Kaniani Boneni Kakra Ewa, until we lost YouTube
Obi
live.
Can you
Ose?
Kaniani Boneni ana dunso no kam.
Edebe dunso.
Oh,
yeti dunso bi aba.
Biseru.
Ko hwe yi o.
Kaniani ko off Kakra Ela ya baba.
Enu nye dunso.
Local fort.
Edebe wan dunso.
Obi, Nanaya is truly speaking my mind this afternoon. The president directive to seek clemency for the well-known NPP radio stations, along with the remaining 62, should be recognized and appreciated by the minority leader and his colleagues. It's important that they do not downplay this gracious gesture from His Excellency. Once again, the president has demonstrated that he is not one to victimize others, unlike what we witnessed in the past during a similar situation under the NPP government led by Nanado. That said, I'm glad to have my two favorite communicators on the show today. Doctor must speak the truth, nothing but the truth, and with Anaya present, you can be sure he would be kept in check. Please tell Doctor that they will be in opposition till after 2032 before they can even be considered by Ghanaians. Thank you. Paul De Suso, Worcester, Massachusetts. Obi, the NDC moved heaven and earth to thwart the effort of media pluralism in Ghana. The closure of pro-MPP media houses is just a tip of the iceberg. We should not lose sight of some bombing of media houses in Ghana. Ke kusi ewo ejeso besiase ne die enie. Obi, I want to find out from Auntie Nanaya, did she praise President Akufo-Addo for not prosecuting the ministers who took double salaries? Greetings to my boss, Dr. Okoe, Nana Amponsa Bediakon, and Onodi Way Abreye. Hello, Obi. Okay. Let me see. Obi, good evening. The attitude of the Health Minister, Honorable Kwabena Minta Kando, in the face of a legitimate and life-saving industrial action by nurses and midwives can only be likened to a doctor who, faced with a patient suffering internal bleeding, opts to prescribe painkillers and apply a bandage. His response has been superficial, palliative, and politically expedient, treating symptoms while ignoring the underlying pathology. Instead of implementing the signed 2024 COS, a necessary intervention to stabilize the profession, he has chosen to rely on temporary fixes, deploying rotation nurses as emergency replacement, recalling retirees as if we are in a war zone, and publishing a list of accessible facilities like a placebo to calm public anxiety. But this is no cure. It is more practice at the policy level.
Kudos to the Parliamentary Select Committee on Health, given under my hand, Sir Amoa Sunyane. Wow. Very well. Ain't ma yamrana fe. Yeah, that's invitation to a meeting with the
Labour Commission.
Parliamentary Select Committee on Health with the National Labour Commission. It's clerk to Parliament. We acknowledge receipt of your letter dated 10th day of June 2025, and the content therein are well noted. We are grateful that the Select Committee on Health has extended this invitation to us to discuss the surrounding circumstances on the ongoing strike action by GRNMA, leading to a framework for resolution. We wish to bring to your attention that a commission per its statutory mandate, as stipulated under Section 138 of the Labour Act, sits with the powers of the High Court. The commission issued its summons and directives dated the 30th day of May 2025 and 4th day of June 2025, respectively, directed at GRNMA, but they failed to oblige and or comply with same. The commission therefore cannot be part of a meeting with the association leading to a proposed framework for resolution. The commission has initiated a legal action against GRNMA in the High Court Accra, secured an injunction against them which they have notice of. The said action is still sub judice. This decision not to appear as part of the stakeholders is also to prevent any prejudicial statement at such a meeting. We are signed by Martin Didemudo, Director Industrial Relations for the Commission. But that meeting, I'm told, happened with the Select Committee and the Labour Commission for
because of what? Investigations
to Labour Commission for now. Because Omono anko eno makwenya court order to injunct them. Yeah, to injunct them from the demonstration.
But Oma frɛ omo.
Yeah.
Me hear investigations.
But I mean the fact still remains patients are apprehensive into this legalese back and forth with and then the beboa situation
you see, the point is that obia but ansa na me koma minti we mfiri ho esla mra eda hodada.
Sure.
I was part of the ESLA committee. Mr. Saponi ni lead. So I say those days. Inti ESLA mra ewo hodada. Inti mra ewo hodada no enye bibi eye foforo. Mwaka say anyi stakeholder consultations. Mra ewo hodada se wo ye mu nsachira ya unsa anko back. But
that's when you are doing some, because so over the past 8 years, Nana, when you look at all the taxes and levies a war price build up in the mono, increment about so cumulatively. Hold on. Increment about so cumulatively a 50 pesos over 8 years.
And then I walking.
If in one swoop, ye changes be the one Ghana cedi ever can it cannot be treated like
Obia bisa a DSC. MPP for Nama we you. Electricity no. Also Okoe can be say ya 15%. Me sure say government say ba no nim so be 15%. I say no abeka won hada. Onim. Otima say ye na tariff no.
Yeah, the
MPP left the tariff first quarter, second quarter no anye na ubenya no wa wate so. Why the IMF buy? IMF yeah, you won't see.
Mama, anybody. Yeah, but some of you. Oh,
some just say IMF now. You won't see. That is the point. And these are some of. And this is there were the conditionalities in business tariff no.
Conditionalities in tariffs.
I am telling you what you told you.
No.
Oh,
you can amend or review.
I am telling you, say where you tariff for almost 4 or 5 quarters, one for tariff now passing enough. So when you have 2 CDs, I want passing in our own with the intention say, so baba be lower tariffs. And it was accumulating for the revenue requirement for the utility. And you need to make sure that the utility needs certain revenue requirement. Ultimately, yes. So the IMF also said, they say, Sadiana hanging in Yano, Moman Koso. Because whatever you get, you should pass on. Under the IMF conditions, ultimately, when you look at the tariff structure, tariff structure meaning near hydro, gas, light crude oil. These are the 3 parameters. Yes. It is always enough hydro and enough gas, a cheaper fuel. What you do is that you ring fence the LCU, ultimately, so that it becomes an over recovery in the tariff. So when you do ring fence like this, what happens is that in case, say a drought, hydro problem about gas pipeline, Nigeria, whoever decides to say, you see. Then that money that you have escrowed in an account under the cash waterfall mechanism, you then release it to buy LCU. For 8 years, the NPP made sure the PURC didn't factor in LCU.